Happy Friday, degenerates. Welcome on back to the Sharp Action Report. This is where we link up with my guy Andrew from Superbook Sports. We will go over interesting and significant line movement, whether it's sharp action, whether it's public action. What side does the book need? This is an awesome informational show for you, so you can have all the info you need to make good bets on Saturday at UFC 318. And I'm joining my boy in the sports book today. Let's go. That for a special occasion, we had to drive on out there, right? So, Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm looking forward to this week's card. I know next week's card is a good one as well. So, yeah, we're stacking up cards. Last week wasn't great for the book with Derek Lewis and Wonder Boy. That Wonder Boy decision kind of screwed us. But, yeah, we're looking to bounce back here.
Don't talk to me about the Wonder Boy decision.
Big week. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled about that one.
Don't talk to me about the Wonder Boy decision. Dude, I got in live at plus 650. Like that would have saved my entire night if they had just gotten it right, and he absolutely won the fight. So I'm there with you. Pain is real. But let's move on. Let's have a good weekend here at UFC 318. Everybody, do me a favor, hit the like button, get subscribed if you haven't yet. Share this thing out on social media, and of course, follow our guy Andrew from Superbook Sports so you get all the information you need for these UFC fights. First fight of the night, we've got a couple of up-and-coming women's MMA prospects. Carly Judis takes on Nicole Caliari, and it does seem like pretty steady steam, one-sided action on the side that I like, which that always, terrifies me. When the market agrees with me, I'm always a little nervous about that. Yeah, so, seen on this one, man. No action?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I mean, it's like the COV doesn't always matter in this sport. It feels like sometimes it's quite the jinx, but you're totally right. The action is coming in on that Judis side. We opened minus 250 on Judis, so you can see market wide this price has moved pretty significantly. We're currently sitting minus 400 on that Judis side now. There was somebody who came in early and bet a really, really big parlay between Judis and Kevin Holland early last week. So, I mean, that's two big chalky sides, but we had just off the rip having a bunch of liability and parlays with that one. And then, she's just been thrown into, the other early parlays, and it's only going to get worse tomorrow. So you can see a few of these prices are quite inflated, a few big favorites on the card. I know there's some bettable fights that we'll talk about, but this is a fight where it's kind of just been one-way action so far, and we're looking to find some traction on that other side.
Absolutely. Makes sense to me, man. I can't offer any traction. I'm on the Carly Judis side myself. Next up, Bruno Ferrer takes on Jackson McVey. A bit of a weird one, man. A UFC staple at this point, Bruno, and UFC newcomer, undefeated, shiny record. Lots of finishes, Jackson McVey. Really wide line here on this. Curious to hear what you've got to say about that.
Yeah, so Bruno Ferreira opened at minus 700. This one's actually come down a tiny bit. We're sitting minus 550 now. So there has been some resistance in the market. I wouldn't say here we've had too much, couple of small bets, but like I always say, it's nice to get a couple of these dog bets early because we're going to need, especially with the $5 favorites, there's a handful of them on this card. If we can just get one of those to, come through, one of the dogs in those big fights, it'll make our day. And yeah, like I said, there's some bettable fights to talk about later, but this one is another one that from a booking perspective, not fun to talk about because we haven't got a big bet on the dog, and we're gonna need one of these dogs. And yeah, pretty basic $5 favorite for us. Oh, did we lose Clint?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It shows we're rolling.
I do not know what is going on, my friend. I
you're all good.
apologize.
The timer shows like we're still rolling.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, definitely still. And my internet is definitely struggling right now. It's never done that before where it straight kicked me out of the show. So want to apologize for everybody there for the short inconvenience. We'll try to keep it rolling. The technical difficulties here this morning. I assume, did you hit everything you needed to on Ferrer and Jackson McVey? I'll have to go back and listen.
I can. You're cutting in and out, but I can still hear you.
All right. Let's move on. Let's go to Ryan Spann and Lukas Brekkis. Very interesting fight here. Ryan Spann is a big favorite. That's something want to see, but at the end of the day, if he's locked in, Brekkis is Lukas Brekkis. So it kind of is what it is, man. What are you seeing on this fight?
So we opened up Spann minus 230. We have gotten a couple of bets on that side early. The price got as high as 260 after that sharp action came in on that Spann side, or respected action. I wouldn't say this is one that anybody is unloading on, but yeah, we did get some respected bets early at minus 230. It got as high as 260. There's been some resistance in this fight. Not a lot of movement. We're currently sitting minus 240. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more Brekkis action and we end up needing Spann on in this fight just based off of how this one's kind of been moving. Oh, your internet in the torture chamber. You're muted.
All right, I'm just gonna keep it rolling. And for the chat, I do apologize. I see the silence is the devil. I understand, Noel. I apologize. We usually do not have these types of technical difficulties here on a Friday afternoon. So I really don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to call my Cox guy. Next fight up, you've got Jimmy the Brute Crute, Marcin Prachnau, almost identical to the last fight, man. Just what are you gonna do with Jimmy Crute as a minus 200 or higher favorite, and it looks like the market is determined that you bet him. You put more money on him at that number. He's climbing and rapidly. Talk to me about what you've seen here on this fight.
Yeah, I'd say out of the first few fights that we've talked about, this is one where they actually did come in and lay a significant bet on that Jimmy Crute side early. We opened Crute minus 250. We got hit pretty early, and it was a big play for one of our respected guys. And that price has been on the move ever since. So we've been doing our best to try to get a couple of Prachnau bets. But yeah, we're looking to try to position ourselves to need Crute. At the end of the day we probably won't, just based off of the parlay liability and stuff. But yeah, we want to write a couple of Prachnau bets just based off of that early bet we got on Crute.
Yeah, good luck, my friend. Good luck. I wish you luck trying to get somebody to come in and put their hard-earned money on Marcin Prachnau. Next up, Adam Fugate and UFC newcomer Islam Dulatov, another just massive favorite, man. I know the last couple of weeks we've done this show, we've been pretty spoiled where we've had some competitive lines. We've been able to talk about it. There's been some back and forth. This is classic MMA pay-per-view with minus 4, 5, and 600 favorites. Anybody nibbling on Fugate this week?
This is another one where there hasn't been a ton of resistance on that Fugate side. Yeah, we do talk about these pay-per-views, and a lot of times there's these big favorites, and it's pretty easy to break down for you guys. Like I said, it seriously comes down to a couple of dogs winning, and that makes and breaks our day. So it's a lot less entertaining to talk about these big fights unless somebody takes a long shot on some of the dogs. But yeah, we did get hit early on that Islam side. for a small amount. We opened 550. We're currently sitting 650. Yeah, we're gonna need Fugate in this one, along with some of these other dogs.
No kidding. All right. All right. That one's going to be a little bit tough. At least, Fugate's always a live dog, man. He's a tough out. So we'll see. Tiba Gutier, minus 550, taking on Robzilla himself, Robert Valentine. Man, this is another one where I know there's the theoretical grappling weakness for a guy like a Tiba, but good luck getting him there. Has anybody come in and taken the shot on Robert Valentine?
Yeah, this is, I hate to be repetitive, another one where there hasn't been much resistance. But to be fair, I'll make this point. I know I've made it before for anybody who hasn't watched our show. A lot of the times with these respected bettors or customers that are sharp, they really do understand how this works, and they're waiting to, get the maximum price that they are able to on these underdogs. So as these prices continue to inflate, I would expect later this afternoon or tomorrow, closer to the fight, that we do get some of the respected action on the longer underdogs. It almost happens every card with these prices that seem like they're untouchable. They're always touchable at a certain point, right? There probably is some value on Valentine to somebody at a certain point, right? So I'm expecting a handful of these fights will get touched, and I'll do my best to share that information tomorrow. But this is another one where it's not too fun to talk about. A ton of liability on the parlays already on Gutier. I'd say he's been thrown in more parlays than some of the other fights that we've talked about so far, other than the Judis fight. So yeah, this is one of the legs that we would love to see Valentine maybe push him into the later rounds and see what this guy's made out of, and maybe steal a win. That would be a winner for the book for sure.
Makes sense to me. All right, let's talk about some of the more intriguing fights, though. Some of these more playable and bettable numbers coming up here in the next few. Francisco Prado taking Nikolai Veretennikov. We've got a minus 145, minus 150 price on Prado. And, I'll admit I'm tempted. Prado's a kid that I think a bright future, but I don't like him at this weight class. Taking on the elder statesman, the much larger human being, and Nikolai. You're still getting plus money on Nikolai, but this line is kept close all week, man. What's going on here?
Yeah, this one's a real balanced fight, and a little bit easier one to book and talk about. We opened up Prado at minus 135. Like I said, ticket count pretty balanced. Let me double check to see where we're sitting on ticket count. But yeah, pretty balanced. Not too much really to talk about. It's been a 10-cent mover so far. So it opened 35. We're sitting minus 145. So really one that hasn't gotten away based off of the early action. The price is relatively or very close to where we opened it. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised either way in this one. A real easy one to book so far.
Okay. All right. I like it. You love to hear it. Nothing big as far as the information or the lean goes on that one. Very balanced. How about this one? I need some information here, man. Irvin Vittori taking on Brendan All-In Allen. And as everybody knows, I've planted my flag a little bit this week. I've taken a stance on this one, and I just need to know somebody smarter than me is backing me up out there. Have you seen any action that we need to talk about on Vittori and Allen?
Yeah, from here on out on this card, I think all these fights are a lot more entertaining, and we'll start with this one. This one definitely has gotten some good action. Pretty balanced on just the ticket count, but if you're looking at the early sharp action, it was all over Vittori. So we opened this one. Brendan Allen minus 260. It got as high as minus 280, but we did get hit multiple times at the $2 range, plus 225 on Vittori. And yeah, you can see that this one is a big time mover in the market. So not that you're cashing a CLV check or anything, but it seems like you've got a good number on this one. Like I said, we opened 260. We're currently sitting minus 190 on Allen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. This is an interesting one, man. I know they already fought this week in the hotel lobby, but yeah, we'll see how this one plays out in the cage or tomorrow.
Okay, I like it. Some sharp action early. Not that I'm necessarily sharp, but I was part of that early wave. Hopefully, we get paid off this week. Love to hear it. And, guys, this is an informational show. It's not really much of a chatter interaction type of show, but my man Gilbert with a request says, can you shout out my daughter? She's put up with you blabbing almost every week, and she's over it. I love it. I'm going to butcher your name. I do apologize, but shout out to Kiani? Is it Cayenne or is it Kiani? I apologize, Gilbert. You got to give me some pronunciation here. The spelling is throwing me off. But if it's Cayenne, shout out to you. Thank you for letting your dad hang out with me on these streams. And thank you all for putting up with me and my terrible jokes as we roll through fights every single week. Next fight up here, we got Kyler Phillips and Venzius Olivea. Another very competitive fight, man. This is like the Twitter civil war of the week. We've got people really, really going hard and heavy on both sides of this fight. Minus 140 for Venzius Olivea, who's an absolute sensation right now. And then plus 120 on the disappointing Phillips, who almost feels like he's been exposed. He's been popped by, not USADA. They're not around anymore, but he's been for drugs on more than one occasion. So very, very weird and intriguing fight here on this. Very even and bettable line. What do you guys see? What do you guys need?
Yeah, this is a really fun fight to break down. I'd say that this one, there's a lot of information to really talk about. So we opened Venzius at minus 175. It got as high as minus 190. We did get multiple plays on that Phillips side by some respected customers early. That price has moved quite a bit, and I'll say I'm one that is pretty surprised where this price is sitting. Personally, the lower that we get on this Olivea side and the market keeps coming down, the more I'm tempted to play that Venzius side. I know we usually don't talk about what my opinion, but yeah, this is probably one of
you're allowed to have an opinion. It's okay.
Yeah, I try to keep them out of booking to my opinion. I try to use the respected action that's coming over the counter. But yeah, this is one where the respected action, I'm kind of surprised that this price is getting closer and closer to a pick. Yeah, I'm not overly in love with that Kyler Phillips side, even at the price that we open this thing. So yeah, sharp action early on Phillips. Another bet we took on this fight today, we did get a respected bet on the over 2.5 at minus 180. So, yeah, one of our sharper total bettors believes that this one's most likely going to go the distance.
Okay. Over sharp action and underdog sharp action. And that's the way it looks like the line has been trending all week towards the Kyler Phillips side of things. Man, I'm on with you. I think the Venzius Olivea live bet is kind of the way to go. I kind of expect him to lose round one. So you probably get a more tempting number live, but you've got to get your action in early. I hate to go against the sharps. I've stayed off this fight, so it feels good to kind of dodge one where it feels like the information is mixed. Next up, we are back to our momentous, gigantic favorites. Michael Johnson takes on Daniel Zellhuber. Zellhuber is minus 625. We've got the underdog, the veteran Michael Johnson, plus 450 ballpark. What are we liking here?
Yeah, this is the last really, actually, no, Holland's a big favorite at this point too. But, Zellhuber opened at minus 500. We're currently sitting minus 600. This is not one that we've had too much involvement in the money line. There has been some bets in the method of victory, and the total is very bettable in this fight. It's sitting at 2.5 under minus 115. But yeah, from a money line perspective, we haven't gotten too many bets. Let me just double check real quick to see how the action's looking on like the method of victory and stuff. I know we usually don't talk about that, but yeah, nothing really too important to share with you guys on this fight. From
I'm a never Michael Johnson type of guy at this stage of his career. He's been pretty unlucky, and he just kind of falls apart in fights sometimes. I've always felt that way about him. So now that he's 39 years old, Yeah, I'm out. I'm not doing that. So I lean towards the kid, but it's a big test up for Zellhuber as well. So lots to show. I threw him in a parlay. I did a 3-legger parlay with some of the favorites, and Zellhuber was one of them. But it's not one that I'm like super, super stout on. I'm not planting my flag here. I'm not screaming from the rafters. I just think the young kid's gonna win.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it looks like with the method of victory stuff, they're really only touching the Zellhuber stuff. The submission at plus 160, 170. We got hit a couple times on the sub. The knockout's a much lower price at plus 180, but it looks like there's going to be much more involvement in the method of victory market on this fight, at least from a Zellhuber perspective. And like I said, maybe tomorrow there will be some big time action on Michael Johnson, but yeah, so far I don't really have much to share.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Moving along. Dan Ige and Patricio Pitbull. Sorry about that. Another intriguing fight here where the line is kind of ballooned on Ige's side of things. And personally, I kind of get it, especially with the way that Pitbull looked in his first fight under the UFC banner. This is a bit of a better fight stylistically speaking for him, but at the same time, he's aged and very long in the tooth, getting hurt every other fight. So I'm kind of with the move here, man. I like Ige, but what are you guys seeing? What are you guys booking?
Yeah, I mean, based off of the move, it really looks like Ige, might be that side. I mean, from opening one of the most bettable prices on the card to where we're sitting at minus 230 now, we opened minus 155. So it's a big time mover for something that, open around that 150 mark. It's almost moved 100 cents. We have gotten hit all the way up pretty much on that Ige side. So we're really going to need Pitbull in this spot. We got hit on by one of our more respected customers at 180. So they didn't even hit that opening price of minus 155. They really have been kind of on Ige all the way up. So now that it's sitting at minus 230, it's not the opening price anymore. We'll see if we get some respected action on Pitbull. I would circle this fight as one of the fights I'm actually expecting some action on Pitbull just based off of where this price opened. I'm expecting this one to come down quite a bit going into tomorrow, but you never know. You never know with the movement, but I'd be surprised if the market was just so off from where we opened this thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot, man. It really is. Unfortunately, I think Pitbull is a guy that got to the UFC too late. You know what I mean? I think it's just too late. He's too over the hill at this point. And even a guy like Ige, who's kind of a gatekeeper at this weight class, just going to pose him problems by being bigger, tougher, younger, So we'll see what happens. It should be a fun fight, though. And shout out again, my guy Gilbert. It's Kiani. There we go. Kiani, shout out to you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for not bugging your dad too much while the show is on. Kevin Holland taking on Daniel D-Rod Rodriguez. Talk to me about Kevin Holland, my friend. He's the anchor this week. I need my boy. So I better not hear anything about super sharp players sniping the Daniel Rodriguez side here. Save me from the anxiety. What's going on?
Yeah, so I mentioned it at the beginning with the Judis parlay. We got that early last week where that was, a very sizable wager, well into the 5 figures. So like that for us is a pretty large bet. We kind of had to circle this fight as one that we're looking to try to write some D-Rod money. We did get some D-Rod money early, even by, some winning UFC bettors, but that number has come and gone and just, kind of moved in their face. We got hit at plus 350, but you can still get plus 425. So, I mean, it really shows that a majority of that money really is coming in on Holland, and probably a lot of respected money for this one to move the way it has. We opened minus 350 on Holland. We're sitting minus 550. But even though Holland's been a tough guy to trust at times, it seems like he's got something figured out right now. He's already talking about fighting 7 times this year. So
insane.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's got something figured out with the weight, this weight class. And the action is definitely coming in on that Holland side.
Okay. Hopefully we're right. Hopefully all the action on Holland just rolls on through because I need it. I need it in a big way. Paulo Costa and Roman Hopilov. Before we talk about the line here, man, before we talk about the bets, did you catch the presser yesterday? Did you see Paulo Costa being super weird on stage and
Yeah,
bouncing around? What did you make of that whole thing?
you know, I don't even know because he's a very interesting individual. It's hard to know if he was being serious or putting on a show. You never know with Paulo Costa.
It's true.
I'm just glad that we get to see him fight because it's been a while. But yeah, whatever he was doing with the stuttering and like shaking on the stage, it was very strange. But yeah, I don't know. What did you make of that?
Man, you know what? I kind of thought like he was maybe on something, a tough weight cut combined with some anxiety cocaine helping him out or something. Like I had people in my chat saying that he just really had to pee because he was water loading, and I'm like, maybe, but I don't know, man. The whole thing was just really, really weird. And we've talked before about how you just can't trust this guy. I mean, from him getting caught hanging an IV full of fluid that was illegal at the time from like the freaking banister in his hotel room and while he was trying to recover the way you're not supposed to back in the day. He just always has a problem. The Marvin Vettori thing, the weight movement, it's crazy, man. So you never know with Paulo Costa, but he's sitting about plus 200 right now. Roman Hopalov seems to be the more active guy. And even though he's kind of newer to us, it's not like he's any younger. Hopalov's a little bit on the older side as well. I think they're both, 34 and 36. So what are you seeing here? I'm kind of surprised the line is as wide as it is, considering Paulo Costa and how well known he is.
Yeah, you can already see that the price is clearly coming down. Seems like the market, opened pretty high on Kopylov. I'm not sure if it's because that is the side and that price will catch up, but it did seem long from the jump. We opened Kopylov at minus 260. It got as high as minus 270. But like you said, there has been some backers for Paulo Costa, and I'm sure day of the fight, just like last week with Derek Lewis, we knew how that fight was going to play out. Not like how that fight would play out, but we knew from a booking perspective, day of, we were going to get some Derek Lewis bets, right? Like, he's a popular fighter. Public handle usually comes in day of. There's going to be some big-time Paulo Costa money coming in tomorrow. Yeah, and you can already see we've moved 60 cents in that Paulo Costa direction. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing keeps inching its way down if there's a tremendous amount of handle on that Costa side tomorrow. And it's not a bad spot for us to be rooting for Kopylov if we do get some Costa money. I wouldn't be mad at that. Needing a favorite in this one would be good.
Interesting. Okay. And then main event time, you guys, as always, do us a favor, get subscribed here on the channel, hit that like button before we go, and then check out my guy Andrew, of course, on social media. Main event, and it looks like the line is starting to swell. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, this thing was very close to a pick'em when it opened. The last time they fought, Max Holloway was a large favorite. I want to say in the ballpark of minus 200. So it seems like the love is starting to come in on the non-retiring fighter, on the Holloway side of things. And I got to admit that I kind of agree with that approach. What do you make of this one, man? How are you seeing the action flood in on this awesome main event for the BMF title?
Yeah, I'm obviously very, very excited for this fight. Yeah, it's been an interesting one to book because there's a lot of mixed opinions in the back. I know my guy John Murray, he's a big Holloway backer in this fight. This is one that we put up a line months ago. We opened this one in May, so it's had a ton of shelf life, and we've kind of got to watch how the movement and the betting has come in over that long period of time. So yeah, we opened minus 110 on both sides. We're currently sitting minus 130 on Holloway. The early action definitely came in on that Holloway side. But yeah, I mean, this is a fight that I think that this is going to be a real easy one to book because I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of handle on both sides of this fight tomorrow. You can really talk yourself into betting either side. I mean, Poirier won both times that they fought, And like you said, he's the one retiring, so that's a good reason for a lot of people to be backing Holloway. I'm expecting this fight in particular, to write a tremendous amount of money tomorrow, and I'm assuming we're going to end up needing a Dustin Poirier.
Okay, they are going to end up needing the retiring Dustin Poirier in the main event. Man, this is an awesome card. This is a excellent event. It's going to be fun to watch. It should be violent. It should be entertaining. Before I cut you loose, my guy, is there a spot that you like? As always, we got to wrap up with your opinion. What's your favorite spot on the card? Not booking, but like as a player,
Yeah.
if you were gonna bet, what would you take this week?
Yeah, I'll give a different answer from what I said. I went on Wager Talk earlier, and I said I think I like this Venzius side, especially as this price is coming down quite a bit. But if I had to pick a different fight on the card, man, there's a lot of chalky spots in this card.
It's tough this week.
You know what? I'll say that Patrice Pitbull over a 2-to-1 price tag is intriguing to me, just based off of where we open this. That's one that, as a dog, one of the more likely dogs in my opinion. So I'll say Patrice Pitbull at that 2-to-1 price tag is one that I'm looking to maybe play.
Wow, there you go. All right, Pitbull dog for the man. Okay, thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much for the information, as always, my friend. And if you want to shout out where the people can find you, if you've got any promos going with the book, anything like that, the floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow, we'll definitely, I know there's not a ton of close money lines, but we'll do reduced juice on this Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway fight, where you'll be able to be betting into a 10-cent line, which will be more fair than pretty much any of these other books out there. So if you're around and you're looking to get a sizable wager on that fight, you're not going to find a better price than you will here coming tomorrow. So keep an eye out on that. Yeah, we're trying to add a bunch of markets for NFL right now. Everything is catered towards getting ready for the football season. With the contest.
It's right around the corner, baby.
Oh, right around the corner. A lot of people signing up for the college football contest we're doing for the first time this year. So if you're looking for that, to sign up for that, yeah, stop by. That's going to be a fun one. Yeah, and like
you got to hook me up with a promo code or something, man, for football season. I'll send people your way.
Definitely, yeah. I'll talk to John about it. I'm sure he would love to do something.
That's
something
what's up.
But yeah, if you haven't followed me on X yet, please do. I try to share anything as much as I can from behind the counter. And I think, it gets good interactions because it's a different perspective than what other people are sharing. So like always, I appreciate you having me on. I wish we could do this more often, and hopefully someday we could do a real podcast in the book together.
That'd be so awesome. Yep, we were talking about that before the show started, man. I'll get out there one of these fight weekends, and we'll definitely do a live show in person. That would be awesome. All right, guys, thank you all very much for tuning in, as always. Next up is the Undefeated Post-Weigh-In Show after the Antonio weigh-ins. That's going to be a little bit later this evening, so keep an eye out on social medias. I'll announce it. Keep an eye out right here on the channel, or you could just hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you know when I go live this evening for one final shot at all these UFC fights. Make sure you follow and support our boy Andrew, and hey, we'll talk to you guys in a couple of hours. Let's roll.